Yep, and we're live. Big up everyone. Big up everyone that's locked in. Sorry for all the lateness and everything. I know even for my timing it was a bit of a joke, but our old StreamYard plan had expired and everything, so we had to make a completely new stream and it was all just long. But we're here. We're here. Big up everyone. We got nearly 50 of you guys in here already, and with all the lateness, like, I appreciate all you guys that are in here as well. We're gonna wait a couple minutes to build the viewers up, and then we'll throw the link out to you guys and we'll get you guys' opinions. I don't know what to expect from this stream because there's not really a lot of news that's come out, and yeah, it's weird territory for me because I've had an entire summer window of just endless topics to discuss, and now there's nothing. But you guys, whoever, any of you lot who come in with an opinion or come in with a take. It doesn't have to be wild or anything out of the ordinary. Just come in with something to discuss. This place is the motive. Bring a drink to the motive and let's see what it's saying. Big up everyone that's locked in though. We got over 100 of you guys in here. Hit the like button. Let me know you guys' thoughts on what I would say is a great weekend of football, but there has been literally no football. Even though there's been everything else going on like normal, there's not been any football, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we move. I'm not going to say too much. Yes, Terrell, this weekend has been absolutely atrocious. Actually, let me change that because I don't like that theme. There we go. That's my old favorite. Big up Skills, Mabast, SVO, Matt as well. I said, you want me to come in with my opinion? Try and come in with something that isn't Kepa, please, or Mendy, because you got cooked on the timeline yesterday for it. Like, you don't need to get cooked twice in one weekend. Hey, Lewis, I got some small positive info on Potter. Nice, bring it into the stream, bro. We'll try and go for about, like, 5 to 10 minutes max per person. All depends on how the discussion goes, of course, but because this isn't upgraded StreamYard or anything, I can't bring in as much people as I want to, so we are going to rush through the viewers. And it is also going to be camera on first, so if you guys come in with your cameras on, you'll get priority, so keep that in mind too. Bro, I didn't get cooked. You saw 2 bro, I saw about 100 posts against it. You got cooked. You got slow roasted, bro. It weren't nice. Senegalese Maldini says we might have to play at Anfield next week. Can't be asked. I would be a bit surprised if it gets to that point, though. Because I know they're talking about a policing nightmare if Chelsea played Liverpool that close to the Queen's funeral. I don't know if it's on the same day or if it's the day before. Someone can let me know in the comment section. But isn't Liverpool v Chelsea and potentially Everton v West Ham, because that game will get moved as well, isn't that getting moved to Merseyside about as much of a logistical and policing disaster? You literally have Everton and Liverpool fans. You've got West Ham and Chelsea fans taking the same train up to Liverpool. You're asking for chaos. Like, I think just play the game. Play the game. Even from a policing standpoint, like Chelsea v Liverpool, it's not that deep. It's not as deep as when Tottenham come to the bridge, or if it's a European side that has a strong hooligan front or something like that. Chelsea v Liverpool ain't that deep. I don't even think football games are as dangerous as they used to be anymore. It's really not that deep. Embarrassing performance says, why was Neil laughing on my name? Because it's just funny, because it's Chelsea and all we've had is embarrassing performances. What else are we getting in here? Funerals on Monday. Okay. So now I don't understand it. I don't get it. If it was on the day, I'd kind of understand. But if it's the day before, then what's the policing nightmare going to be? Maybe it's something that I don't really understand, but I just think you could play the game. You could have played the games this weekend and there just wouldn't be any issue. I think they just have a problem with, because Liverpool fans ain't going to be too respectful towards the Queen. What else are we getting in here? Drop in any thoughts or questions or anything like that. I'm going to put the link in the chat in about 5 minutes. Just want to get the viewers up a little bit. I don't know how long we're going to go on for, but we'll see how the stream goes. Maybe we'll do more of these if it actually goes really well. We'll see. Hey, Taha, someone said it, innit? Somebody said it. Do you believe Chelsea will actually win a trophy this season? Yep, because we've always been capable of it. We've been in worse situations and we've still won a trophy. So I always believe Chelsea are capable of it. We're always good for at least a Carabao Cup or FA Cup run every now and then. Even though, to be honest, like I say that our recent Wembley record stinks, but we're definitely capable of it, and we thrive in chaos. So you never know. You never know. Joseph says the terror level is going to be on max in London. That's the issue. Didn't really think of that. I could understand it with it being such a big occasion. There's probably going to be pools of crowds all around central London. That's a fair point. Skill says, is the transfer window worth the money? Way too early to judge. Some of the transfers we brought in haven't even played for us yet. We can't say anything until they've had an extended period in the squad for us to be able to judge them. Football Style says, do you think Potter would let Kepa start because he's good on the ball? Potentially. I feel like he does prioritise that. I just hope Kepa takes the confidence that the manager might give him and actually use that as an advantage. And hopefully we start to see that confidence shown game. A confident Kepa is a good goalkeeper, even if he does come with his issues with long shots and commanding crosses and all those sorts of things. He's still a good goalkeeper if he's confident. Did you have any idea? No, man. I woke up at 10:30 in the morning, saw the notification, and I've never woken up so fast in my life. I did not. I don't think any Chelsea fan expected to wake up to that. Even the most Tuchel out person probably didn't expect that. So nah, there was no in the nose or nothing with that. Damien Duff, Ivan Toney immediately. I would have got him in yesterday. No chance. I don't think it'll happen either because if they didn't do it this week, they're not going to do it next week, which I still don't understand, but it's whatever. That just means there's going to be an even bigger pile up in January, but we move. And we have to play Liverpool and City twice after the World Cup. Can't wait. Right, 2 minutes, guys, and I'm going to put the link out. Imagine I come out of my first lesson in college, seed been sacked. My head was gone. This was literally me the second time Jose got sacked. I'd come out of college, I was with my mates, I went down to the library or something, and one of my mates from Chelsea was just on the website, and I see Jose Mourinho has been sacked, and my heart just sunk. Even though I kind of expected it the way we were playing, it was still shocking to see because Jose I thought was going to be our Sir Alex, and it was an absolute car crash in 15-16. Big up Brad, it's been a minute. Hope everything's been well, bro. Yeah, it has been ages, man. It's been ages. Good to see you, my guy. I have no idea. Literally have no idea. Maybe they're saving it for something. Maybe it's because they haven't. Have they officially? No, they have. They've done photos and everything. I don't know. Believe I went. Yeah, same thing with me with Jose. I walked home so depressed. So depressed. What player do you think will end up reviving his career under Potter? Pulisic, Ziyech, Kepa, etc. Potentially Pulisic, Kepa, maybe Jorginho if we play three in midfield. Maybe the likes of Havertz. I would say Sterling because I think he's been all right for us. Mason Mount, I don't know if he can make Mount more creative, or if he can get some end product out of Havertz. He is an absolute miracle worker, but we will see. I always ask about no Chelsea ultras. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, guys, run the likes up. I want to try and get to 250 before I send the link out. So everyone, if you haven't pressed that button, literally press that like button right now. Just press it. Apparently, Oscar wants to have his final years at Chelsea. He always speaks about Chelsea like he does want to come back, so I wouldn't be too surprised, but just don't see if it would be realistic. All depends on if the manager actually favours him, even as a squad role. Maybe he'd have to take a big wage cut. I don't know. I actually don't know. Because if he made it very favourable, like took a very low deal or something, it could happen. could actually happen. We've reached the 10-minute mark anyway, so I'm going to start sending the links out to people, but it's going to be one at a time. And yeah, whoever's got their cameras on will take priority in it as well. So yeah, we're going to send the link out now, people. So hit the like button. If you guys want to join with an opinion. Don't just join to be like, hey, I'm on Chelsea Fan TV. No, I need to hear something. So let me know you guys' opinions, and for like 5-10 minutes, we'll discuss it. Just let me know. Just let me know what you guys are saying. Cool. I'll put the link in chat. Oh, we got a super chat as well. Nice. Yeah, links in the chat, people. So hop in. Big up Ico Suave saying, big up my guy from Los Angeles. Love that. Always love hearing that people are watching from all across the world. What are you most excited about with Potter under the helm? And what would you like to see change right away? Right away would just be the way we perform in game. Because our in-game performances are atrocious. We have been poor for nearly every game this season except probably Tottenham. Every other game's just not been good enough. So I think that would be the immediate turnaround I'd want to see. In terms of what I'm most excited about, maybe some attacking patterns of play. I mean, that definitely would be nice. But yeah, I just want to see the team play well. But we're going to start getting people in. CFCOG, I'll start off with you. What are you saying, bro?
Yes. How you man doing?
I'm good. What are you telling me?
Someone dropped the question I was going to address earlier ago, like who's going to, go through the biggest revival. And it's going to be between Pulisic and Ziyech, the only guys that we actually knew had friction with Tuchel. My man was on a plane. My man got his dad to write a note online for him. So I personally have a bias in this. Obviously, I want Ziyech to be ready for the World Cup. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, inshallah, he gets back to that Ajax form. You know what I'm saying? Remember how he was in Ajax when he duffy Tottenham? If we can get him,
I hear that, but from what a lot of people are saying, we're going to be still playing free at the back. So it's not going to be a position that really favors Ziyech. We know where we get the best out of him.
You are right about that.
Wing with 4 at the back.
But we do have 5 subs, and Harry Potter, Graham Potter. Honestly, I could see him looking at certain teams and going, "No, I'm going to play him today." Like Tottenham, I could see him starting Ziyech on those kind of games because he doesn't use one set tactic. He likes to analyze the opponent, how they're playing recently, and then from that, clap back with a proper good tactic. So I like that. We're not going to stick to just one tactic through the whole season, one kind of formation, set of players. I do think a lot of players will get their chance. We always play like 60 bloody games a season. And the second guy, Pulisic, he's got more of the same chip on his shoulder. Like, he's got to go to the World Cup on fire. You know what I'm saying? He was Captain America years ago, bro. Remember when we had that good patch, yeah? They honestly...
Project Restart Pulisic. That guy, I still have dreams of him returning, man. Like, that play was sensational.
Zaki, remember that patch there, yeah? They honestly thought he was one of the top 10 players in the world in America. The way ESPN packaged his goals and highlights, they thought, this guy's one of the top talents of the world. When we all knew he's good, cool, but if you don't do it for 3-4 seasons, that hype quickly goes away. So honestly, I think he's going to get the most minutes out of the guys that were complaining for the minutes. Maybe Chalobah as well, but Chalobah don't really have a point to prove like Pulisic. Pulisic is the main man for America. America, like, if they...
So you think he's going to have the most opportunities out of everyone, or do you think he's got the most to prove?
Out of the Braz that were complaining, Ziyech, him, Chalobah, I think he's going to get the most minutes. And look, it's in his hands. If he fumbles it, then F me, bruv. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could go by January. If he has a good World Cup, which I think America will, I think America for the first time will qualify from the group stage, and football's going to, increase, reach a fever pitch there. But that's another thing, America coming to the football scene. But he needs to do it, especially after what his dad said. Like, his dad was giving, rather, as my man, Sir Timo Werner calls it, he's not on the bird app. His dad was tweeting it off. Even his sister drops on tweet, she was deleted. So I'm like, that family they're backing him like proper. Like, so if he doesn't clap back, if he doesn't show what he's made out of, he might as well just pack his bag in some other way. But
I do feel like we'll say it all for Pulisic, but it's basically every attacker at this point. Because we've all said maybe Tuchel hasn't got the best out of all of them. But
Bro, the
now we
Belgium
have
one
a
does
manager
shock me.
that actually coaches attacking patterns of play and everything. We should be seeing a much bigger improvement from all of them.
I want to see it this week, like, because technically, when you go on odds shots, when you check the odds, this is an easy game. Like, especially in our next games that are coming, this is one of the easiest games statistically. So
What,
if we,
Salzburg?
yeah, Salzburg. Like, I know they got a draw against AC Milan, but for them that was actually a big thing. They celebrated it. AC Milan were the team that were pissed, even though it was close. But forget that game. I want to focus on Salzburg. If we don't do a magic one against Salzburg, yeah, bare man's not gonna be on Potter's case. I'm
Here's the
expecting
thing:
a big three.
I can't look down at anybody right now the way we're playing.
Bro, don't talk about
Bro,
that.
we have been so bad this season. I understand we'll get a new manager bounce potentially, but I have to see it. It's the same thing I said when we were under Tuchel in the last few weeks. I need to see good performances before I can start having faith.
I mean, at least we're gonna play sexy football, right? At least we're gonna look good. So if we
hope
do,
so.
or if we do, we're meant to be that team right now. If we do lose, we go down looking peng. You know them ones. Like before,
Yeah, but it's like, would you rather go down losing shit or go down playing well? No, I'd rather win. I don't mind.
That reminds me of Arsenal years ago. They're playing that sick football, but they were getting smacked up, losing games
Exactly.
against top
I
teams.
do not want this Arsenal mentality of like, as long as we play well,
It's
it's
trending.
okay. No,
It is trending,
no.
bro. I see it on
We need
Twitter.
to
Bare
win,
man
but we
saying
need
with the
to
new
win
Arsenal.
convincingly.
I see a little meme. It was like a guy with Chelsea face, and the guy with Arsenal was like, "Hold my beer." I was like, "Nah, fam, you can have that back, man."
Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
Honestly, I want Ziyech, man. I want Ziyech and Pulisic to just show everyone that, yeah, we are top players and we're in this cup for a reason. Every now and then, Ziyech done something last season. I was like, oh, remember Tottenham game? And against Everton, I was like,
Yeah.
he does things every now and then. You're like, this guy's a wizard. Like, do some more magic. Hopefully, Harry Potter will release all of that S on them because, oh man, they'll go to the World Cup. If Pulisic and Ziyech go to the World Cup flat and dead, they could pack their bags in January, forget summer. You know what I mean?
Completely agree, bro. You got any other thoughts you want to say before we wrap up?
I don't want to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna save some things, but I want to see how things unfold. Hopefully play Liverpool this week because I do not want them to gather their S together and smack us up. Like this week's the best time to face them.
Completely agree, bro. Take care, my guy. Big up yourself. CFC OG on YouTube as well. Check it out. Big up yourself, man. Love. Christian Bastianelli as well saying Chelsea fan from Belgium, Mighty Blues Supporters Club. Big up yourself. Big up all the Belgian Chelsea watching and everyone else from around the world as well. We're going to get the next guy on. Hey, it's Alex. What are you saying, bro? You all good?
What's going on, Lewis?
I'm
the
good,
OG
man. I'm
guy.
good.
I think you forgot that Ziyech is retired from international football. I don't know what kind of World Cup is he struck.
I completely forgot about that. That might actually be good for us in the second half of the season too.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what is he talking about? Didn't he retire from international?
I completely forgot as well. To be fair.
It's funny because USA is Pulisic is always a starter for USA, so I don't think he was any threat to lose his position in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he would like to be fit, probably better, but the more he plays, the more chances he gets injured. So if Pulisic gets injured right before the World Cup,
oh, he's saying Ziyech is unretired now.
Unretired.
Is he back? Like, what, has he gone back to the squad? Oh, he came back because of the Moroccan coach. Oh, so he is going to be in the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Didn't even know that.
That's good for him.
But on Pulisic, isn't he a lot more available now? Like, he isn't really as injury prone as he used to be.
Well, injury prone isn't it the same thing as like the more he plays, the more times he get injured. So he's not playing a lot, so he's not technically injured.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably why Tuchel never really trusted him like that.
For me, it's actually for me the actual problem with Pulisic is I don't know. The guy has the potential. There's no doubt about it. He has the potential. He has that football IQ that you think, but But at the same time, he's a typical American guy that like heads down and just goes dribble. Like he doesn't know when to stop. And I wish he had that how you say it, like that awareness. Like it's time to stop. It's time to stop dribble. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like
just keep your head up a little bit more and
a
just
little
scan
bit more. Yeah,
around.
he will be. He would have been such a big good player if he knew when to lift his head up. But I don't know. There's the reason why I wanted to talk. It's about Luis Campas. Apparently, what's his name? The
I
looked
did
after
see that.
DOA.
I do think it's unrealistic though, because he joined them in June. So I don't get how we think we're going to get him away from PSG that quickly.
I don't know nothing about him. I was just talking to Daniel before you, and I don't know. Is the PSG the only club that he ever been? Is he ever
No,
there?
no, I think he's been at a few clubs previously. I was doing my research. Let me try and
I
get
don't.
back up.
I don't know how good
But I
he
know
is
he joined
actually.
PSG like this year. He joined them in June. So I'm thinking like, what, we're going to take him after 6 months? Also
Is
from
that
PSG who can pay more.
is that the reason? Yeah, I see Josh. I see Josh in the comment. Yeah, is he's the one that's responsible for Mbappe not going to?
I heard
Oh,
apparently Mbappe asked him to be brought in as one of the terms. Because he just came in June, didn't he?
yeah. And
Either way, it's like I like that we're looking for a director of football. It shows that we're doing it, but I just don't think Campos is realistic.
oh, he was DOF at Monaco. That's pretty good, actually. I like Monaco how it was run before.
That's probably where he got his name from.
Yeah.
Because
Was he working at the same time as the RDOF? What's his name?
he was at Monaco from 2013 to 2017. No,
Emenalo.
to
Emenalo. When Emenalo
2016.
left and came to Monaco.
Yeah, I think he was there, but I think did he go up to? No, he went to Lille and became sporting director in 2017. And from 2013 to 16, he was sporting director of Monaco. Left in 2020 and then joined PSG in 2022.
Yeah. Anyway, another thing is with the Potter situation. Harry Potter. The more you listen to the newspaper columnists, the more they try to like put like against the body, like against each other. You know, like the fans are gonna be divided apparently about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the new age of the how you say it, the social media.
Yeah, just make everything as
Just
reactionary
makes
as
it
possible.
actually reactionary. Like I don't think the way they doing it on the news at the newspaper columnists, it's like we try to divide it, but people need to remember that Harry Potter is not the reason Tuchel got sacked. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think it was that. I think it was like we need a little bit more common sense and just let the Graham and let Bowley explain themselves. People forget that Bowley took a gamble on himself by sacking the manager as big as Thomas Tuchel. He pretty much to put the finger on himself. So
And I think as well, it would have been a lot more toxic if we actually did have that Fulham game. I think now that there's been a gap, there's been a lot of time for Chelsea fans to like process everything and to try and get past everything with Tuchel. I now think it's the atmosphere in grounds aren't going to be as toxic as we initially thought.
my question is like, did you see any pictures, anything from training ground lately?
One sec. Yeah. No, I haven't seen anything.
That's like it's kind of like weird. Nothing out of training grounds. Nothing from the
Which I don't
nothing.
understand. Because when
Yeah,
Tuchel
but
came in, we saw his training that day.
the new exactly the new signings comes in all of a sudden, training stuff like that, and as the biggest signing as it is, like there's actually a picture of the Graham Potter with all his teammates and like at the table where we make the signing announcements and signing people.
Yeah.
That's like a freaking there's no room there. The only one who's missing is Billy Gilmore at the table.
No, the people in the comments are saying it. Yes, because of all the stuff with the Queen. They're probably just the media team's not doing anything. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I see. All right. Well, I'll let you talk to other people. Don't want to take all your time. So
Hey, it's been good talking, Alex. Anyway, I'll shout you soon. Take care,
see you
bro.
guys. See you.
Bless. Meanwhile, everyone, as always, continue to run the likes up if you guys haven't done so already. I think the StreamYard link is also pinned in the chat. So if you guys want to get involved, check out the pin chat. If it's not there, let me know and I will put it in the chat again for you guys. But we're going to keep moving on. Faded Reds, what are you saying, bro?
Hey Luz, how you doing?
I'm good. What are you telling me?
So I just want to preface this. I'm a relatively new Chelsea fan. I started for my first match that I watched was the first leg versus Real Madrid this past season, and I'm just like a little
Damn,
bit
you've only
biased
been
there.
here a few months.
I have, so I just want that's
Welcome.
thank
We're
you, I
not this
appreciate it.
chaotic. We're not this chaotic every year, but
Oh, dude, you don't understand. Like my other sports teams, we're in shambles at the moment. So this is average for me. But I just want to preface that to let everybody take a grain of salt what I'm about to say because I'm primarily a Pulisic fan, but I'm also an unbiased Pulisic fan, right? So I'll put Pulisic off to the side because we've been talking about it way too much recently, and I want to start talking about other stuff like what Bowley's trying to do and what his accomplishments or what his aspirations are. Excuse me. So I think a lot of people don't understand this, and Bowley's just the front man, right? So there's about 5 other owners that make all these decisions, right?
yeah.
And at this point, everybody gets mad at the spending we're doing, but you have to realize the only people that have more money than us in the Prem now is Newcastle. So, and I think Bowley and them and co have about let's say 70 to 100 billion dollars that they can spend, and I think they have 35 billion in cash, if I would be correct in that. But the reason I think I want to talk about is Bowley's aspiration to pretty much copy the Man City model and to create a conglomerate of football clubs around the world. What do you think about that? And if that does happen, what kind of clubs would you like to see us acquire?
What in terms of like the feeder club rate thing that came out yesterday?
Yeah, pretty much.
I like the idea of it, and it's been kind of similar to what Chelsea were doing before. I just don't think there was a clear name on it, but we were clearly doing that with the likes of Vitesse and other clubs in the past. Like I like it. I'm not really too fussed what clubs we pick. Like it could really be anybody. Just has to be from a semi-decent league. But
Hmm.
yeah, I like the idea of it. Feels like another good layer to the foundation of Chelsea would be good for us to have other clubs that we could send loan players to, and we know that they're going to be given chances and they're going to be given regular game time. But
Hmm.
yeah, I like it. I like it. I've got nothing against it.
Yeah, I think this will be fantastic for the evolution of the club because I think because let's be realistic here. Man City would be nothing without the money, right? In my
Mm.
opinion. From what I've seen outside, I haven't been following football for I've been following
No, it
football
is
for
what it
years,
is.
right?
They'll agree. They ain't gonna
Yeah,
hide it.
so yeah, Man City would be absolutely nothing without the money. And at this point, we have more money than Man City. And I think if we start expanding our brands, and I think I saw something. This could be cap, but I saw apparently Bowley wants to hand Palmeiras 100 million just to get priority at their signings. So like that's just the kind of ambition that I think the Americans are going to bring to the club. And I think this is going to take us to the true next level. Because another thing about us Americans, and I'm pretty sure everybody in UK understands this, known and be like the loud mouths like everybody knows us for. And so I think that's what Bowley's going to do. And I think he has a great situation and great vision for the future. And you have to remember he has done this with already 3 clubs or 3 sporting institutions like the Los Angeles Lakers, the Dodgers, and as of now the Los Angeles Sparks, which is a WNBA team. Uh,
Hmm.
and Bowley's all about bringing in superstars and making money, and that's truly what the football club is at the core is an investment. So that's why he's spending 290 million pounds, or excuse me, 267 million pounds, I believe, or something like that. And money's just really no object at this point because his priority is pretty much just make the fan base happy and to make us the biggest club in the world, and I think he will accomplish this in due time. It might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, but eventually we will become the biggest club in possibly Europe. I like I think that's what his goal is. In
I
the
like
end.
that energy. And I do agree with you as well. Like, I think it is a long term. We all know it's a long term plan. I don't even think that's a question at this point. I think all the anger towards Bowley is coming from the nature of the Tuchel sacking and how it went down and everything. But
Mhm.
I think even with Tuchel in charge or without Tuchel in charge, we all know it is going to take a while for Chelsea to rebuild and completely overhaul our squad. It was going to take
Exactly.
more than one window to get to that point, and then I think it was going to take 2 or 3 for us to actually win a league title, especially now we've sacked another manager. But I do believe people are willing to be patient with everything. They just need to see progress. As long
Mhm.
as regular progress is shown, people are going to sit back and understand it because we've had a complete changeover. Now, not even just from the backroom staff, our entire managerial squad in general. Now we're doing the playing squad. So yeah, of course it takes time. I think we all agree with it.
Yep. Yep. And I think the club is also another thing about people and hanging on to Tuchel and whatnot. You have to really pick a
I am
side.
trying so hard not to say trust the process, by the way. I refuse to say it.
Well, I
But
mean, you realistically you do have to trust the process in the end. But
I,
I mean,
I, I
that's just
will
a
not say it.
cliche.
It's too Arsenal. I can't say it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's an Arsenal thing. Oh, I wasn't aware.
I believe in progress. That's what I'll say. I believe in progress.
And then the Tuchel sacking. At the end of the day, it was necessary, no matter how you look at it, because he had fallen out with the ownership, and there's a clear what's the word I'm looking for a clear trend in Tuchel's getting relieved from his jobs. It always comes down to falling out with the ownership. But if he never did that, I think Tuchel would probably we would definitely be in a very good position if he never did that. If you let Bowley and Egbali just cook like they really wanted to. But last thing I wanted to say was I think this is the appetizer. I think Bowley's got something real big planned for the club. And he wouldn't be spending $4 billion if he didn't want to be the top of the world.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that's just my opinion. I appreciate your time.
No worries,
Thanks
bro.
for having me on.
Appreciate you coming on as well. Take care of yourself, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Bless, bless. Right, we will go just straight on into the next one. And shit, what are you saying, my guy? Hope you're all good.
Hey Lewis, how are you?
How is everything, man?
All good, all good. Thanks a lot for asking. How's everything over there?
Everything's all good. No football, which is a little bit boring, but we're finding our way to get through the weekend. What did
Yeah,
you want to
let's.
jump on and talk about?
Well, I had to talk about a lot of things, but considering what happened with the Queen, there was no media updates regarding Chelsea. I'm sure we all can
Hmm.
understand about that. So I was all curious about, considering the fan base, a huge fan base that Chelsea has. So, how about something, we look into how we create that atmosphere at Stamford Bridge and when we go to away, considering the other clubs like Celtic or Liverpool that we all have. So, do you have something to say about that?
What about
Because I
improving the atmosphere?
more like because considering Chelsea doesn't have that ultras fan base, but still, it is something that I think we should also work on moving ahead because many things are new, and I feel that is one aspect, where we lack in terms of the fan base. I know we have some great songs.
See, here's the thing. Like, I feel like the atmosphere problem is systemic and it's just a home game thing in general, not just for Chelsea fans, but for football fans in general. Like you said, Liverpool. Liverpool is one of the most overrated home atmospheres in England. Like they're the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
You, they've just got "You'll Never Walk Alone" to start, but everyone's always just kind of quiet until the home team scores. The away team's always good. Like Chelsea's away support is unbelievable. I always
Yeah,
stand
I
by
know
that.
about that.
The home
Especially even
support,
even this
I
season
get it.
against Leeds, it was awesome. Considering
Yeah,
how
even
the
if we did
result
get
went, the scoreline went. Yeah, I know. Even last season, when the way Lukaku pounced on to that goal, he tried for that third goal. It was just awesome. And Leeds is one of the toughest grounds in the Premier League. But still, we have some of the amazing fan base, when it comes to the away support. But I was, more curious because see, I'm staying in India, and I watch football, Chelsea matches every day, every night, whenever it is, from my TV sets or my mobile. But the fan support at the Stamford Bridge. That is something, I really feel that, we are lacking, and, we should definitely have a good improvement on it. What do you think about that?
No, I completely agree. The home atmosphere needs to improve. It's just I don't really know how it does or how we get to that point
Maybe
anymore.
some, more tifos, more choreos.
I'll be real, we've tried that and it doesn't really do anything. Doesn't do it. I believe home atmospheres are just then they're gonna be what it is. It's gonna be quieter there unless it's a big game or if it's a London derby or any
Yeah,
sort of rivalry. If
exactly,
it's like
exactly.
Chelsea Palace or something, it's gonna be quiet. It is what it is.
Definitely agree. And speaking about Graham Potter, how do you think that when it comes to the gegenpressing model, the pressing system, especially, which we had at least practiced a lot more under Thomas Tuchel, do you think the pressing system will improve under Graham Potter? Because we still have a little bit more line, we have a little bit more width between our central defense and our midfielder. So do you think that is something, or that is one area where Chelsea should actually improve on it?
I mean, I would hope that improves. I do
Because
believe we're capable of it
yeah,
because we do have pressers within the squad, but we've lost our shape in that regard a lot, especially compared to when Tuchel first joined. Our press was unbelievable then. That's something that
yeah, in the
hopefully
stuff.
Potter can improve on, and I do believe we could see an instant response in that because within Tuchel's first game, I saw better pressing than I'd seen in months under Lampard. So it's definitely
Yeah,
capable, but we have to see. Have to see.
but there's just one bigger problem, that I really am hoping that Graham Potter will address, and that's the Jorginho rule. Because
Hmm.
I don't want to criticize him in the public, but he's one of the main culprits if you consider the past few matches. He is one of the main culprits alongside Edward Mendy. That is something, like, I know he's an exceptional player, Jorginho and Edward Mendy. The way you guys have lifted up his stand, the Senegalese goalkeeper, everything is look. But I hope you remember that West Ham match. Remember where he gave away that crucial penalty? I mean that error, right? Away
Which
to
one?
away to West Ham, Edward
The
Mendy.
first goal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah, the
which one
first
you're
goal.
about.
Yeah. So ever since that match, he has been just horrible, except one or two moments in between. And Jorginho is more like the culprit ever since the Sarri era. I really hope that Zakaria
I'm gonna
finds
be
his feet.
real. I understand the criticisms from Jorginho this season, but like I'm not blaming him for the entire midfield problem. The midfield is
Yeah,
just crap in itself.
yeah. Even we have a new defense, so I know Wes is taking a time to adjust, considering the way we shipped the first goal at Dinamo Zagreb. But Koulibaly, I think ever since that red card, he has been less reluctant to indulge in tackles. That is something what I feel. What do you say? Ever since
I don't
his
think.
red card,
I think other than the Leeds game, I don't think he's been that bad. I think he's been pretty good for us personally. Leeds, he was terrible. He was absolutely
yeah,
terrible. I won't even
he
try
was
saying that.
terrible. That yeah,
But other than
maybe
that,
he.
I don't think he's been that bad, especially compared to everything I've seen in midfield and attack.
Yeah, but I was also like watching some videos on how Graham Potter tactically sets up his team. This something which is common with Thomas Tuchel. He also likes to make those in-game changes where the team tactically adjusts to what sort of situation the opponents are getting them into. So I hope that thing still continues, because we as a Chelsea fan, don't want our team to be just in a single phase. Like, let's say it's a 3-4-3, then it's a 3-4-3. You gotta make those little bit tweaks. So I hope, fingers crossed, things get actually improved. And I guess our next match is home. If I'm not wrong, it's with
Salzburg.
Salzburg. Yeah, I hope that doesn't get cancelled. I hope UEFA doesn't consider that way.
Hopefully as well, bro. You got anything else you want to say before we end the stream? Well, end the call.
I just hope the only message that I have is up the Chelsea. Fingers crossed. Let's hope things go well.
Let's hope things go well, bro. You take care of yourself.
Okay, bye bye, Lewis. Thanks a lot.
Bless, man. Take care. Again, guys, link is in the description if you guys want to join in. Colin says Georgie needs to brawn beside him to orchestrate. Yeah, potentially him and the Zakaria pivot might cook really good food, but we will see. We'll see. CFC Cyprus, what are you saying, bro?
Hey man, what's up? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. What are you saying? What do you want to talk about?
I just want to start off saying that I've been watching Chelsea like since We won that Premier League title with Mourinho like in 2015. I remember my first match was against Tottenham, that Wembley Cup final in February back in the day. Loved it.
Yeah.
And since then, I've seen Chelsea going many downfalls and ups, but I believe that Chelsea are right now in a very bad situation. Bit complicated with all this thing, but I hope the team can do better. That's all. I don't see the team fighting at all in these last matches. I'm kind of frustrated with that. Bit gutted.
I get it, but do you feel a bit more confident now Graham Potter's coming, or what's your thoughts around the whole situation?
We need to wait and see. Okay, I'm not really sure what we can expect. A lot of things can happen. We're talking about Chelsea. It's a big club. As you can see by the stats, every year we manage to go to a cup final. And as Chelsea, we are a big team and we have to show that character inside the pitch. And that is what Graham Potter has to deliver to the players. Like, we are Chelsea, we're here to win, and we're here to deliver success to the team and to the fans. That's
Completely agree. Completely agree. If we'll try and stick on a more positive note as well. What players do you think have the best capacity to thrive under Graham Potter? Let's go with that.
I want to say Reece James. He has that personality. He's a kind of a
Oh
captain
no, but like
for me.
Reece James, he's already there. I'm talking about players that haven't been as good under Tuchel.
I believe I can see a bit of Kepa going on that level.
Look at Matt smiling in the background. I can't be bothered. Go on, bro.
I believe Kai Havertz might have a better season now because I've seen him. He didn't perform very well with Tuchel. Maybe it was the time that he didn't adapt well to the league. And I believe he has the time. And now he has to show his potential. We signed him for a lot of money, man. Don't get me wrong. He's a big man guy.
Completely agree. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I hate Jorginho. I don't like him at all.
Oh, imagine my shock. Like 90% of the fan base. I'm not surprised.
I'm sorry, but I have to say that Jorginho for me is not the kind of player that can play in the Premier League. I've seen him play many games. Last season, I was completely gutted. Every time I was watching a match, I was with my father, and every time he was like, fucking Jorginho, what is he doing? He cannot pass the ball, he cannot do that. And I was seeing it. And I even got surprised last season he went number 3 on the Ballon d'Or, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, that's my opinion. Okay, just saying.
No. I completely get it. Do you think it's an issue with the individual, or do you think it's a case of the system kind of lets him down as well? Or do you think it's just a player in itself? Go into it.
I personally believe that maybe it's that he left Napoli and he joined Chelsea, and the level of the Serie A between and the Premier League is very different. So it was a change for Jorginho, and I think it didn't go quite well with the plan. That's what I think.
You don't think it ever worked for us?
I think for a moment it did, but then I didn't see Jorginho perform to the level I wanted him to perform, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. No worries. Big up yourself anyway, bro. It's been good talking.
Thank you, man. Good.
Take
pleasure.
care of yourself, my guy. Love. We're gonna keep going as well. There's more people joining in too. Matt, what are you saying, my guy? You all good?
Man, big up. I just want to tune in a little bit. Just doing some work on the side, very late night. Big up Tev in the chat. Big up to that Cyprus guy, kept it honest. Obviously he knows that the number one keeper's coming back to redeem his spot. He knows that. But I'm going to talk about more Zakaria. I said this a couple of weeks ago on the terrace.
Oh, you're not here to talk about Kepa. Oh,
not yet.
Right,
not yet.
Cool.
Not yet. But I want to come bring this up because I actually been, I always seem to forget to talk about it on other streams and stuff. But I want to discuss as I said a couple of weeks ago on terrace. I said Zakaria for me would have been and is a better signing than signing Declan Rice for the price and for the how it fits the system. Now, under Tuchel, Zakaria would have thrived, right? Because he fits that Marquinhos positioning. But under Potter, I can see a double pivot of Jorginho and Zakaria, like we were saying before. I remember I said it. I said the day he signed, but that's when we play three at the back. If we were to play 4-3-3 with Jorginho and Zakaria, I think that could help Jorginho because I think I love Jorginho. I think the weakness with Jorginho is his physicality. People
Mhm.
are right. He needs some dominance there. He needs someone strong. He needs someone big. He needs someone who could handle the big guys. And he doesn't have that. And I've always been critical on that. I think I said back in the COVID period he shouldn't put on weight. I think that was the main priority for some of these players. Mason Mount did it. That was great for him. I think Ziyech and Jorginho, two players in particular, who should have done that. If they didn't, whatever. Zakaria is a player, as I like, that physical. So he's 6'3", he's quite lean, he's built, he's not slow on the ball as well, he's quite fast. This guy is probably one of the most underrated signings in the Premier League because we're not linked, but a lot of fans were kind of discussing him back in May and August. And I never really, brought it up ever. I never discussed it. But now I've been watching him back. I've been watching him watching guys back, like older videos. I've been watching him. I've been speaking to so many Juventus fans, and like, why was the reason why Juventus bought him? And the more I watch him, the more I get in love with this guy because this guy is the DM Chelsea fans want, and we got him for 99.9% cheaper than Basmati, and that's why I love this guy. I hope this guy can come in and then not make us panic next summer to buy another CDM. So let's see where Zakaria takes us because I'm really looking forward to this guy. That's the most exciting transfer for me. And with Potter, I'm interested how Potter can use him. Again, Lewis, do we play a 3-4-3? Do we play 4-3? Like, does anyone even know what Potter's going to do? Because for me, I think it just switches it.
I think
don't
we
know.
could see three in midfield, though. I do think we'll stick with three at the back, but you might see more of a 3-5-2. And I think there's two different sides you could look with the Zakaria, but I think you're heavy on the positive side, which I hope is correct. I really do, because I completely agree with you. If Zakaria comes in and he's a revelation, we don't have to concern ourselves with bringing in Declan Rice for 100 mil for no reason. We get the same thing for 30 million, which is an absolute bargain, especially when we talk about how much we've needed this profile of a player for years. But he has to come in and work. He has to come in and actually assimilate to Premier League football well and everything, because he could easily come in and be a Fabinho, or he could come in and be a Bakayoko. It's one or the other. I just want to think positively because
it's just his injuries as well. He's had that injury problem. And I think obviously Liverpool signed Arthur as well. So like two Juventus midfielders who had injury problems. That's the only concern for me. And I think every Chelsea fan should be wanting Zakaria to do well because as I said, if he does well, then we don't need to go panic, buy Basmati for 100 mil, and then we can stick with this guy for 30 mil, and then bring in Alvarez because Alvarez Zakaria that is much. It's just much cheaper. Like for me, after Declan Rice, for me, he's not worth over 35 mil. The guy's a good player. I like his leadership. Recently, he hasn't been showing anything good, but the guy's a player. It's just not for me. I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy, and I was never why people were really for him. I think a lot of people were for him because him and Mason Mount are best friends. That's the reason why.
That's it.
But
it's just a little Cobham thing. I don't mind if the price tag was decent, but it's not decent. It's 100 million, which is an absolute rip-off. Then I'm hearing 150 million, which is just laughable.
I can't believe 150 mil. 150 mil, thank God we didn't pay that. I mean, we paid 90 mil for Vardio. Last point as well. Arrizabalaga. He's taken that number one, guys. And I said it yesterday because I apparently got cooked when three people who didn't read the thread properly tried to quote tweet me. But a lot of people agreed if you actually looked at it.
A lot of people agreed.
You can look it up. I can bring up the statistics.
I looked through the quote tweets. There was not a lot of agreement.
Anyway, the ratio was pretty even. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, people didn't read the tweet, and if you don't know, you can go look at it. I'm not going to promote blah blah blah. But the thing is that I've said Graham Potter will get the best out of Kepa Arrizabalaga is because of his feet abilities. Now he's not the best at it, right? I'll be honest, he's not the best at it. But what do people think? We're in September. We can't go buy someone else, unfortunately, guys. We've got to do with either Edouard Mendy, a guy who can't kick a ball, or a guy who can somewhat kick a ball. And if you guys watch Matt Ryan is an Australian legend. Brighton, Real Sociedad, Arsenal for a bit. And I'm watching this guy for years.
Throwing your own Australians under the bus
because he played for Brighton. He played for Brighton.
You
And
have
that's just insane.
absolutely no
He
shame.
played for Brighton.
No
He played for
shame
Brighton.
whatsoever. Not even a
Oh my.
morsel.
He's literally my, Australian legend. And the thing is, I bring him in is because the guy is 6 foot. Matt Ryan's 6 foot. I met him. He's not that tall. I saw him in person once. He's not that tall, right? But the thing is, that's the same with Kepa and Graham Potter. Matt Ryan, I think, joined 2017. Graham Potter joined 2019. So the guy played under himself for 2 years, and he loved him. He loved Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan obviously got the Arsenal thing and blah, blah. The point is, I'm saying that the players that we had the question before of that who would Graham Potter redeem, one of them will definitely be Kepa Arrizabalaga. And the people who think it's not, then the only reason Edouard Mendy gets in goals is if Graham Potter's team can transform Mendy into re-kicking a ball. And I think a lot of fans who watch Kepa on
we've
that
seen
pitch,
it happen. Under the first few months of Tuchel, Mendy was unbelievable playing out the back. Then
yeah,
just
he was
disappeared.
good. Yeah, he was all right. And then I don't know what happened.
He
That's it.
wasn't
I don't know
good.
what
He
happened.
was really good at playing out the back. Call it what it is. Because I know
Really
it's
good.
Mendy, you don't want to say it.
Don't add the ejected. Don't add a really. He was like average
No,
at best.
there was a period where he was really good at playing out the back. It just it disappeared.
I don't know what happened. It just like dropped since February. And the thing is, I said that we need that's why he needs competition. When players come in a downfall like that, the best thing is to either get dropped, get rotated, or have competition. So Chelsea fans should be wanting Kepa to come back and perform. Remember, he's worth 80 million overpriced. He's on 150k. Blah 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 blah. Play the guy. Have competition because healthy competition is the best competition. But we will see. We will see what our gaffer does. Let's see what he does.
We'll see. We'll see. Matt, big up yourself for hopping in anyway. Take care of
Big
yourself,
up.
bro. Blessed, man. Right, we're gonna keep rolling. 14-15, you're next. What are you saying, bro?
Yo, you good, bro?
Yeah. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna make like 5 quick points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no worries. Go on.
Yeah,
What you want to drop?
Yeah, so I see everyone here, just looking at this Bowley and like Tuchel situation, they're just literally like ignoring it and going on to Potter immediately. But we have to address the fact that losing Tuchel is going to be a big loss, big loss, especially with the transfers we've just made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So firstly, the situation with Aubameyang, yeah. Why do you think he really came to Chelsea? Not just because Tuchel was his, former manager at Dortmund, but why do you think he also came to Chelsea?
Because Barca didn't want to keep him.
Exactly. He just came to the Prem because, the league is just not for him anymore. But I don't see that he's really on it. And another thing that I think with Potter might change is the way the academy system works. Because one thing I realized in the last 6 to 5 years is that the stars coming out of the academy, when they come to play for Chelsea, they don't enter their prime in the way that, like, when they leave Chelsea and go to other teams, they become something else. You know what I mean? Especially Abraham.
Yeah.
That's one example. Abraham at Roma right now is just killing it. He's killing it, yeah? Secondly, let's talk about the squad. The squad itself is just messed up. Our attack is just getting nowhere. You know what I mean? Especially the West Ham game, it showed that we're relying on Chilwell to make last-minute clutches and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's a very bad sign. With Potter, I haven't really seen the way Brian play that much. But for example, last year's game, where it was 1-1, I think it was in December, against him, where he made that like last minute.
Shocking that day.
Exactly, he made that last minute clutch with Welbeck, and they dominated us the entire.
Apparently, Potter's
game.
teams are really good at goals after the 85th minute too.
For real, all the time, man. Like, we were absolutely dominated in our own half as well. They kept us in our own half, and you had people like Jorginho literally running around headless, doing nothing. One thing I realized about Jorginho, you can't. I know what Tuchel's trying to do, make him a defensive mid and an attacking mid at the same time, but it just doesn't work with someone like Jorginho. He can't do either. It's just, it's not going to work at all. And secondly, the biggest problem at our club right now in the midfield is Gallagher. Gallagher needs to go. He's got to go immediately. That's it. There's no.
Do you feel like Tuchel misprofiled him though?
You know what it was? I think Tuchel, he looked at him the season before at Crystal Palace and he thought it's time to bring him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear that, but I heard a source before the Leeds game say that Tuchel views Gallagher as the closest thing to Kante, and it's like they're nowhere near the same sort of player.
No.
Gallagher's like Mason Mount. You need to play him
Exactly.
as like the link between midfield and attack.
For real, like Gallagher, we saw his true colors in the I think it was what game was it which he got the red
Leeds?
card in?
No,
I think it
Leicester.
was- yeah, the Leicester game. You know, he doesn't know how to keep possession, and he's just, you know, he doesn't know how to control himself yet. And with Tuchel's tactics, it just doesn't work, doesn't fit in, and so forth. And
Yeah.
even in the season before, in the 21-22, I promise you, we would have won the league, if it wasn't for the injuries we had at the start of the season. We would have won the league. But because of what happened with Chilwell, you know, that all collapsed. And then what happened in the UCL, just things made things even worse. And then the FA Cup and EFL Cup final really showed like our true colors, you know what I mean? With our like attacking liabilities and so forth. And can I just ask, like, what's your take on like Lukaku going on loan? Do you think he might come back to, you know, play under a different style under Potter?
Nah. They had talks with Bowley, and then Bowley let him go to Inter Milan. I don't think there's any chance he comes back. I kind of want to see it just because I like chaos like that, and I just want to see the meltdown. But no chance. It's not happening.
But man, it's shameful because one thing, there's a new trend in football where if you have a manager that wins you, let's say, let me give you an example. Tuchel, he won the UCL, yeah? And then everyone starts going crazy. Yeah, Tuchel's the best manager of all time, whatnot. But there's this trend where if a manager does something like wins you the UCL, the team has to like enslave itself to suffer for like 3 years. Let's say the manager just, you know, starts his tactics start failing and everything. We have to suffer under that for as long as we can. That's why I kind of agree with Bowley sacking him immediately, even though it looks cruel. You know what I mean? But obviously, this thing
it's gonna look cruel regardless. I feel like if they wanted Tuchel gone, you just do it when you make the full takeover, and it still would be harsh. But like, I get it. You're starting a complete takeover. You're starting from scratch.
Exactly,
You've backed him with 300 million, and then you've sacked him. I don't understand that.
Now, for me, everyone knows that it was premeditated. This thing was planned from, I could say, May. This like sacking was happen. It was going to happen from May. That's why, for example, we bought Cucurella over from Brighton, and the Bowleys, Bowley wanted him out by, you know, this time. And obviously, it was all perfect timing because we started losing to Dynamo Zagreb 1-0. That match just horrified me. I'm still traumatized, you know. I've still got PTSD from that match. We barely made the clutch to West Ham. If I'm being real, West Ham, we should have ended the game 2-2. But, you know, VAR finally did us a favor. You know what I mean?
That was just a Ben Chilwell masterclass off the bench that saved us.
Exactly. That's why you don't sleep on people. Like, it's sad because our defense is actually, like, last season, I remember people used to, like, show me the stat where, like, our defense has scored more goals than our attack. And it's a very sad figure. Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the same thing this season.
Exactly. And you've had people like Pulisic, for example. Pulisic, he's actually a one-season wonder. Nobody can tell me anything else. He's a one-season wonder, and that was 1920. Yeah. After that, it was over. It was done, and it's very sad to see because we've got such a good team, but it's like when you're playing FIFA Ultimate Team and you got no chem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
literally
bad.
hear you. Literally hear that, man. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up as well?
To be honest, lastly, bro, I just miss the good old days, bro. Because
don't we all, bro? Don't we all?
The first match I watched was 14. It was in 14-15. Diego Costa against. No, it was Chelsea against Stoke, and I remember Diego Costa absolutely running riot in their half, and I was like, "Nah, that's it. But yeah, I miss those days, man. I swear.
Trust me, man. Competent striker up forward who was a bully as well. Completely agree. Hopefully, Broja becomes the next Diego Costa, though.
Oh yeah, that's one thing
close.
I've got to say. Broja, I think. I didn't watch the some people were talking about Potter's new like system with the squad and everything. I really think Broja should be given a lot, like much more game time, because that's one thing Tuchel did bad. He was putting in the same players again and again, literally to Taliban. He was committing terrorist attacks left, right, center with the squads. Like he was putting in people like Gallagher and Mount again and again and again. You know what I mean?
No,
Even
I
though
hear
these
you,
guys have
man.
been
I hear you,
AFK
man.
like
Trust me, it was
24/7.
a mad last few weeks. But
So,
that's just
oh,
Chelsea for you. That's just
exactly.
Chelsea. Take
But
care of
yeah, man.
yourself, though, bro. It's
Yeah.
been good talking. Big up yourself.
All right, safe. Have a good day.
Bless, man. Love. Guys, again, run the likes up if you guys haven't done so already. Let me know you guys' thoughts on anything we discuss as well in the comment section. And drop a super chat if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out. Case, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Oh shit! What's good, man? What's up, Lewis? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Sorry for the wait and everything.
Nah,
Appreciate you.
it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I'm calling from New Jersey. So yeah, I've been following Chelsea since like '03. And to be honest, the only reason why I followed Chelsea or kept following them was because remember I asked I'm Nigerian, right? I asked my dad, I said, yo, like I just saw this thing on Telemundo. It was my first time watching the Premier League. And he was like, what are Nigerian fans of? He was like, yo, it's either Arsenal or Chelsea. I saw my cousin's an Arsenal fan. I can't be the same fan as him. So I chose Chelsea. So
Smart decision. You nearly made the same mistake as your cousin, bro.
um, oh yeah, we go at each other each time. But like, yeah, I just wanted to join in and talk about a few things, right? Just about how people feel towards like Bowley, or actually, first off, just people discussing players, right? So what I see in the fan base, I'm part of like there's a Chelsea Discord, there's a Chelsea Reddit, and all these chat groups I'm in, and people just start saying, "Oh, like start this guy, play this player," but no one really puts like a reason behind it. They only put the reason behind why they want a player to play because someone else is playing for, but they don't look at people objectively, right? So let's go into like Pulisic, for example, right? I know he's like very polarizing within the squad, and I don't have a favorite like player that I look like, yo, that's my guy, except for Reece James. But with Pulisic, when I look at him, right, I see that his 2019-2020 season, he was great, but he came off an injury from Dortmund, and Lampard didn't start him. People over here, Americans, they're like, yo, start this guy. Why is he not playing? Like, yo, he just came from a hamstring injury, I believe. So he needs some time to get acclimated via training, which is kind of what we should have been doing with Conte, right? I don't think Pulisic
Yeah.
started till like late in the fall, right, of the 2019-2020 season. He didn't even play a game. So with Conte, we're doing the opposite thing. He's injured, we're having a bad game, you'll throw him in there, he's gonna turn it around, and he gets injured.
Because our midfield options are so bad. So there's no one that you could genuinely trust.
Exactly, yeah. But like when I objectively look at Pulisic last season, even this season, right? Like I look at where they were playing him, and like he specifically is to me, he's a left winger. He can't play anywhere else. We played him at center forward a couple of games because of Lukaku and Timo were out for a few games last season. I think one was out due to COVID, and one had an injury or something like that. So we played him there. People were like, "Oh man, he's poor. He should." I'm like, "Yo, like you can't really say that if he's not playing his best position." Same thing for like I think the past few weeks or last week or so, we played him as a right wing back. In one match, people like he was poor. Like, well, that's not what he plays. He's a skinny dude. He's very frail. You see that on the ball, he easily gets knocked off. So he's not that type of guy. So I think you can accurately judge him if he was a left winger, and people were saying to start him. But I'm looking at it objectively. I'm like, yo, do you guys think that this man is better than Raheem Sterling? So in order for you to start Pulisic, he'd have to prove that he's better than this guy consistently, and he need a couple runs a game. So I wish people would do that more. Same with Ziyech, right? So you have Ziyech playing on the wing, and he comes in off as a sub now, and he's a right winger. And we've never played Ziyech anywhere but on the right wing. Probably we played him on the left wing a couple of times, but most of the time we bring him in, he's on the right wing, right? So when you look at him, then you can judge him and say, okay, yo, he's not playing well, like, or he's not playing up to what we expect him to play at. Like he had those few games against Tottenham when he was just amazing. I think everyone looks great against Tottenham, to be honest. But like we brought him, so we brought him in, and now you're able to judge him and say, okay, is he good? Is he worth like having on the squad? Then you can objectively judge him. And people say that, oh, we should start this player more, but you really have to look at, all right, how good is that player? How good is that player compared to our other options? And like, does he fit in that system, right? So you're looking at Conor Gallagher getting exposed in the pivot, right? He can't play that way. People are saying that he's poor. I'm like, well, he's not playing in the right system that's meant for him. So I wish more people would look at that like objectively. So in regards to Tuchel's sacking, right? and like what happened, I was willing to give him up until like maybe October, November to start harshly charging him because when I look at the squad, right, a lot of the squad, except for our back line, hasn't really changed, right? Like people say that, oh, Christensen, like we lost him, but then if you look at how many games he played last season, we didn't even start in a lot of games, right? Like the person that was playing in our back
Nah,
three
the board
was
wouldn't let him play games because
the
the whole
board.
contract situation. They
They,
put us in the
it's,
arse.
all right, cool. But like, if we're going to say that like he changed our like him not playing last season changed like everything, right?
Nah,
But you
our
have
issues weren't at the back. It was in midfield
yeah,
and the wing backs and an
no,
attack.
exactly. Yeah, so I'm working from the back way up to show like where people are playing, where that consistency is, or people who are in there who are like those key spots. And of course, for me, it's Jorginho. And my biggest thing, actually, outside of Jorginho, when I look at the team in totality on the Tuchel system, was that there was a lack of verticality in our attack. Right, like all of our passing went straight to the wings or to sideways. Right, there was times when I wanted to see us play the ball to runs in behind. You know, like oh, Timo's gunning it. Yo, get that man. He's or even there were times when Lukaku was open, yo, just pass it to him. And I see even Luke RLC, he's guilty of that as well. Like I'm like, yo, like
The
I see a
whole
man making a
midfield,
run
man.
and make that pass. So I think a lot of people like to like spot and pick out players, right? But I wish people looked at it more objectively. We cannot break down lines, right? The back line. I'm looking at City, I'm looking at Liverpool, I'm even looking at some games of Brighton, right? And I'm like, yo, these guys are actually able to like break the line and actually have a clear chance on target. When you look at the chances that we've created, although we're creating chances, right? The amount that we're creating that's actually on target, like it looks so like clumsy, like like Sterling is not there, like square off, beating a man 1-1 and scoring. It's like it's a ricochet off of the post or it just fumbles somewhere and one of our wing backs is in position to score again, or Sterling is there to make a clumsy goal. But when I look at other teams and how they score cleanly. It's like, oh, they broke that line, their attack just went through and they got the goal. So like for me, that's what I want to see more now with Potter. Am I mad about Bowley for the Tuchel sacking? Yeah, I think the people's understanding of why he did it, like I don't think it was anything to do with tactics or I don't think it was anything to do with like even the disagreements with signing players. I think they're looking for someone to work more with them. And I think people are saying that Potter is a yes man or coming as a yes man. I don't think he is. I just think that there's a
Nah.
vision that Bowley has to get some man to come in and to actually say, all right, let's work together, let's build something. And I think Tuchel, to his credit, is fine. He wanted to focus just on football, and then he'll say what targets he wanted, and then a DOF will come in and handle that for us, and he wouldn't be as involved. But I think Tuchel Bowley was looking for someone that can work with us more holistically. So shout outs to
Hopefully,
you,
man.
man. I
Hopefully.
love your channel, man. I've been watching you for
I
a minute,
appreciate
man.
you for hopping on, man. Really do. We're gonna try and do a few more of these call-in shows as well. So try and hop in a bit more.
Yeah.
Big up yourself, bro. Appreciate you jumping in. Take care,
Peace,
bro.
man.
Big up. Right, we're gonna keep moving on. Jojo, what are you saying, bro?
Hey, Lewis. How are you, man?
I'm all good. What are you saying?
First time, long time. I'll be quick. It's just three main things I wanted to tell you. First of all, God bless. Nice to meet you. Um, I've been
God
a
bless.
Chelsea. I've been a Chelsea fan since a long time, but it became legit with my daughter, which has autism. She picked the team. She went towards the color blue, and the rest is history. Just think I'm not an
Great
Arsenal
story.
fan.
Really love hearing that.
So I was chosen. I didn't pick the team. So all right. So number one, what the Fader Rat said, it was absolutely right. Bowley's known for that. He did that with the Dodgers. As soon as he comes in, he looks at the players that are struggling with certain things, especially in baseball. I know baseball's a completely different game or sport, but there's this pitcher called Kershaw, and he was always in under ambiguity because he just couldn't get over the hump. So when Bowley took over, he surrounded him with the right managers and people to help him over, thus winning a World Series. So like now, arguably, he's one of the best pitchers in this generation, and he's done that with every single team that he's been in. Two, Tuchel. I know it's sad. I love Tuchel. I was a big fan of PSG. I mean, people could tell me no, he was shit. We could go into all of that. It's whatever. But I've been through a divorce. I'm divorced, And there's a lot of things that you could tell that man was going through that was going into the pitch, whether it's the relationship with each
That's a
player.
very fair point.
It's exactly, there's like whether it's relationship with players and stuff like that. There's stuff that, believe me, I've been through there. I've been through therapy and all of that. Like, divorce is a hard thing, and to separate your work from your personal life is a lot of things. I mean, we could get into, like, we're men, where we're not supposed to have feelings. We're supposed to just forget about it, and or just leave it all on the pitch. No, man. Like, I wish Tuchel nothing but the best, but he needs to take time and deal with whatever personal situations, and hopefully he becomes like another Mourinho, and you never know. We might get a second. We might get a second run at him. And number three, um, I know a lot about Potter. I'm also South American, and he's known to give South Americans or people from impoverished communities, like players, give them a second chance. For example, Caicedo, he bought him at 5 million, I believe, for $5 to $15 million, and they did the number, especially here in the Spanish media. They're saying that if he was to leave to another team, basically to a bigger club, he will be resold for about 45 to 50 million. So basically, what what uh why Bowley hired Potter is the fact that he's an American, and he does this thing that Bill Belichick does, which is an NFL coach. He looks at players that are able to play different positions, meaning that he's not going to play them out of position. Meaning it's just he'll assess in what positions you're able to play, and then if he needs you to play, let's just say, for example, Caicedo, when he was playing in the lower leagues, he was playing actually as a winger, or just a striker, and now he's playing in the midfield. So he's some person that takes one-dimensional players and assess them and be like, hey, you got talent here, you got talent here. I'm gonna keep you at your right position, but if I ever need to change the formation, or I need you to change to put you in different places of the pitch, I'm gonna do that. And Potter's known for that. Potter's like, this is a fresher breath air, like of like fresh air for Chelsea fans, because this is what we needed. We needed somebody that's willing to actually go and assess each player for what they're for. Because the easy thing is to just go and blame everything on Jorginho. We could easily hear and stare like, no, it's all Jorginho's fault. We don't have. It's the easy thing. It's the easy
Hmm.
cop out. We can't do that. Like, we needed a coach that, that's known for doing this. That's able to take each player, assess them, and try to see where, like, not only can you do this, but you could also do this. For example, Bill Belichick, when he won the last World Series, one of his wide receivers was a top like a top level quarterback, and he was a wide receiver. And, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's something that we needed, because I mean, that's what I believe. That's why Bowley hired um, Potter, and we need that. We need somebody that's willing to actually sit down and work with the system. Like, when Tuchel came in, that's exactly what he did. He went, it's like, oh, I'm not going to implement the system. I'm going to implement the system around the players. Not, not, they don't have to implement around me. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, we got a manager who is probably going to be better at managing these players, and also potentially finding a way to get the best out of them, which we do still have to wait and see on. But I am trying to think positively about it, and that was a very good point as well. The divorce situation, I could completely understand that scrambling Tuchel's mind, and we can't
Yeah, but
even tell the difference because we're not in the body at the time. We don't know how he's coping.
exactly. We don't know what's going on. We could sit here and talk about, everybody had him figure it out. Everybody like that. Maybe they did have him figure out. Maybe there was something maybe his personal life was blocking in the way of maybe changing the formation around, or maybe really sitting down and assessing with the players. We don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, I have no hatred. I mean, I could do the easy thing and do the American thing and be like, no, he didn't play Pulisic. He's wrong. I'm glad. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm Chelsea first, and we don't know what's going on in people's heads. Just because you walk around in the street and somebody gives you a dirty look doesn't mean they're an asshole. It doesn't mean but you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what the day's been like. So you know that slight bump could have just ruined their whole day out of all the shit that they already been going through. So I mean, at the end of the day, we have to move on, and I think Potter's gonna be a great. We're gonna hit the ground running. Yes, Tuesday, when we play champions, it's gonna be a little bit shaky. But I promise you, if not, you could just, every Chelsea fan that listens to this stream could go into my profile and tell me to F off. But I promise you, Potter will hit the ground running. Our players will improve, and it's gonna be like like fresh air just coming into our lungs. Trust me.
I hope so, man. Bro, it's been a very good talk, man.
Appreciate
you hopping on.
God
Take
bless
care of
Chelsea.
yourself and
God
have a
bless
good
you.
day, man. Hope to see you on another one of these soon.
Oh, absolutely, sir. You got it.
Take care, bro. Bless. Right, again, guys, I'll keep telling you. If you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button. We're going to go on to the next guest. Steven, what are you saying, bro?
Hey, Lewis, how are you?
I'm good. How is everything?
Oh, same old, same old. It's, moving on. Hopefully, now we have a new manager. Hopefully, things will get better now. One thing that I want to say before everything is, regarding Tuchel, it's, I think, Joe himself said it the last time, like with everything that was going on, with his personal life and everything, and especially outside the club as well, because at the same time that everything that was going on in his personal life, that his personal life was just getting blown up to hell. I mean, we had our own club was under sanctions. Like, like people were wondering, is this guy, are we going to be able to go to Lille to play in the Champions League? Are we going to have to forfeit that game? And yet he, Tuchel was a pillar of strength in that time, and he said, no, look, if we have 50 tickets, we'll go. If not, we'll hire a bus. If not, I'll just take my car, and then we'll take all the players along one at a time. And for that I will always, tell that man has a place in Chelsea history. He will always have.
100%. He's one of the best
He
managers
will
we've
always
ever
have.
had.
He'll always have a place. And on top of that, I think what I will say is also our players. I don't know why, but even previously before, like when we had the generation of Drogba, of Lampard, Ballack, all of these players, there always was a hint of that player power. Like if you don't get on their good side, they could always go high, go above the manager to Abramovich and tell him, hey, I don't like this guy, maybe keep an eye on him. And then that sort of gets into his head, and then at the end, if they don't, when they usually wouldn't get the Champions League, then he just sack them off and get another man. And so I always feel like this player power it's increasing so much, and yet the players that we used to have, like, I mean, Drogba was a captain for the Ivory Coast. Lampard used to captain us when John Terry couldn't. Terry was a captain for Chelsea and for England before what happened with Ferdinand. Ballack used to be a captain for Germany. Jonathan Mikel used to captain Nigeria. Like Essien used to be one of the leaders in Ghana. Like Perechek also. Like so many leaders. We used to have leaders on the pitch. Like not just one guy being one leader. We had leaders all over. Like our spine was full of leadership. And now I look at these players, and the only person who I see has that sort of leadership, it's only Aspie. It's just Aspie.
And even then, like, Aspie's not really the best leader, I'll be real about it. He's more better in his defensive work, and even that's going down. In terms of leaders in the squad, I think Koulibaly's a good leader. Silva, but he does have that language barrier. Jorginho, I think, is a good leader, very vocal. That's about it. That is literally it.
Like I also look at people saying Reece James and Mason Mount, they're also there, but I probably
Reece
put them
potentially.
like at the potential, like they have that potential in them that they could be leaders, but they're not there yet. They still have to hone that skill. And also regarding a Kepa redemption arc, I mean, honestly, I'm one of the people who really wants it for him. Like I really want it for Kepa, but at this point in time, it's time to face facts. There's no redemption arc for him. I mean, the best hope for him.
You went from like really building him up to just being like, yeah.
I know that. I know this is really, it sounds very negative and Nancy like, but I will always say, look, that man, for everything that has happened, I mean, I remember the semi-final, the Europa League semi-final against Eintracht. penalty shootout. We were down, like it was close, like we were gonna get out, and then the guy just, I think against Hinteregger, he just pulls off a save with his knee, and then he just looks at him and he goes, he just shouts it in Hinteregger's face.
That's
and
an
I'm like,
unbelievable
damn,
moment. Like
that was
Kepa had
brilliant.
good moments for us, even if
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
trust him as much anymore.
And then as well in the Euro, what is it, the Super Cup final against Villarreal as well, the European Super Cup final, when he saved those 2 penalties. That again, I mean that guy, I will always have. He has a place. Like every Chelsea player will always have a place in my heart. But even I have to realize that it's maybe a bit too late for him. But whatever happens in the future, I will always wish him the best, and I will say, dude, you made this club. You were part of this club, and I will always support you for it. And
Love that, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to talk about?
And nothing else except keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, I remember like there used to be lots of these fan channels like the before, like a few years ago, and then with Sophie, and then with Rory as well, and then it stopped, and now it's come back, and hopefully again it stays on permanently. I really want to see more of this. I really like the sense of the community that you guys are building, and I hope it grows, and I want to be able to help that as well. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that, bro. No worries. We'll be doing more content like this as well. So hopefully we see you on here a bit more.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, my guy. Big up. Bless. Right. Really good call as well. Really enjoyed that. Dag, what were you saying, man? It's been a while.
My guy, how you doing?
I'm good. How's everything, bro?
Can't complain. I've had to put my scouting hat on since the Premier League's been down. You watched them Italian games yesterday?
I watched a bit of the AC Milan game, but I came off after the second half.
All right, well then you already know where this conversation is leading on to. If you want to talk about some proper Italian midfielders, good God. If you watch Tonali and what's his name?
I thought you were going to lead in some Jorginho prop. That's a shame.
Oh, it's never going to be Jorginho prop. But if you watch Tonali and if you watched Nico Barella yesterday, dude, good God. What could have been if we had not been stuck with this dude for the past 3-4 years? Man, bro, listen, they just locked in Tonali for another extension, and I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure Nico already has a really long contract, but bro, if you want to talk about midfielders that we need to be looking at, it's one of those two. Like, they are ridiculous. That pass to score like in the 80th minute from Inter, bro, that's what you need
I know Sarri wanted Barella.
Bro.
I know Sarri was really keen on him. Tonali, not as much, but he's been a very big prospect for the last few years. He's one of the players I'm excited to see when we face AC Milan in a few weeks.
It's gonna be actually insane. I'm not excited for that game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not excited for that game. I don't think we're gonna be that ready, to be honest. I'm happy.
I hear you. I'm trying not to swear. We're crap right now.
So terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm happy at least we got Potter, because I was the only one defending Tuchel about the form that we've been on. I personally think that it was his fault. Now I'm hearing all the stories. Clearly, the form didn't matter. It was a lot more than that. I truly don't understand I don't know what's real and what's just stories. So I'm gonna wait a couple more weeks to get to the real news until the real news really comes out. But I think Potter's probably the only person that we could have gotten, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the only one that truly fit for us. So I'm hoping that the talent ID that he has, I'm hoping he doesn't keep it at a Brighton level. You get what I mean? So I'm hoping he understands that I have the funds now to go for the players that I couldn't back then. You get what I'm so like? Yeah. I don't want him to basically go for the Caicedos of the world. I'm not saying he's not good, but I want him to go for the Barellas of the world. You get what I mean? So
I want a bit of both. Give me some gems and also give me some stars that I know are going to ball out for Chelsea.
Right. But I mean, I just hope that now he understands that it's serious, because he's not going to have any opportunities to mess up, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because if you sack Tuchel, a Champions League winner, and a 5-time finalist in the span of 18 months, if you sack him for that run of games that he was on, it begs the question of what room for error do the next managers have? You get what I mean? Like, you can't have a run of 10 bad games because you're gone. I mean, if they sack Tuchel for less, you got to be on your shit. So I hope Potter's able to deal with that pressure, and I hope that he's able to keep us kicking. And what Matt was saying, bro, Zakaria might be one of the best signings we've had in the past couple years.
I am trying to speak it into existence. I'm hoping and I'm praying, bro. I hear you, man.
Genuinely might be one of the best signings that we've had in the past couple years. If you've watched, everyone watched it. The Euros, bro, he was absolutely spectacular. He was spectacular. And the only reason he was that good is because he had, okay, I don't want to say only reason, but one of the main reasons he was that good is because he had another DM right next to him in Xhaka. Xhaka was playing really good in that Euros as well.
So what, we saying we want Jorginho and Zakaria pivot potentially?
I know, right? The Jorginho haters actually calling for it. But yeah, the Jorginho pivot with Zakaria is probably the best move to go with, especially since Conte's not going to be able to stay fit. And Kovacic, I don't want him to leave Zakaria alone just yet. You get what I mean? Like, Kovacic is going to wander off because he's going to feel secure that Zakaria's back there. He's going to wander off. So I want Kovacic to come in as like a substitute. But yeah, I'm really excited, dude. I'm really excited. I just don't know about this attack. This attack is still going to be dead. I don't care what anybody tells you. I understand he got Danny Welbeck kicking ball and everything, but our attackers are just dog shit. I don't understand.
It all relies on them two boys in your Avi right there.
Yeah, I'm and the fact that I still
Chelsea will live or die by them two.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's good. And Sterling, I gotta add Sterling to this because he's gonna be the only thing to save us. If I'm being perfectly honest, that creative flourish, I think it's gonna have to come from him more than anyone else.
Well, have to wait and see. Like, we'll talk about this on the next call-in show as well. But big up yourself, Dag. It's been good talking.
Good to see you, bro.
Take care, my guy. Love. Big up yourself. Right, we're gonna keep on rolling. Mabas, what are you saying, bro?
You good, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm all good. What are you telling me?
I'm good. How you doing? Good.
Yeah, I'm all right. Football's gone, which is a bit boring, but we're making the most out of the weekend.
Yep.
Anything you wanted to bring to the conversation, bro?
I just wanted to tell you the reason behind for the Tuchel sacking.
Yeah. Go on, let's talk about it.
The reason behind that is because his stubbornness to change tactics, playing players out of position was the reason why he got sacked.
Was it that specifically, or was there anything behind the dressing room as well? Because we know there was a big fallout with Bowley, and it's been on the cards for weeks.
It might be behind the dressing room. Something like that.
Anything specific,
and
or is
also,
it just something you've heard?
And yeah, I heard it. And also, Bowley didn't consider Tuchel as a long-term manager.
But then why spend 300 million on him?
I don't know. But listen, I knew Tuchel wouldn't be a long-term manager. I knew it.
From when?
Or was it just when he was at PSG? Listen, let me land. When Tuchel was at PSG, right, he fell out with. He's known for falling out with the board. He has a record of falling out with the board.
Yeah, I know that for Dortmund and for PSG, but like, because you got to take context into all of them.
Yeah, when he was at PSG, right, the reason why he fell out is because he didn't get the players he wanted when he was at PSG.
Yeah, same thing with Dortmund as well. But Chelsea, here's the thing: you spend 300 million on a guy, like you expect him to get at least 7 games.
Yep.
Our comment section is absolutely taking the piss. Right, is there anything else on Tuchel that you've either heard or you think about or what?
I was a little bit disappointed when he got the sack because I really wanted to give Tuchel a time, when things didn't go through.
You didn't think he was a long-term manager? What are you talking about?
No. What was it called?
Right, you're lost. You are so lost.
I'm not.
You said you didn't think he'd be a long-term manager. Now you're saying you wish you got given more time.
We should have gave him till the World Cup until we had a proper manager, but
you said you didn't think he was a long-term manager.
I mean, Bowley thinks he wasn't.
No, you said you didn't think he was.
Oh, sorry. Also, what was it called? Before I leave, I would say back Graham Potter, respect him, give him time, support him. The same way we backed Tuchel, we should do the same for Potter.
No, I agree. Okay, I can agree with you on that as well. But I do believe Potter's going to get that same level of backing too.
Yep.
Right, Mabas, big up yourself, man. It's been a very good conversation. Take care of yourself, bro. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Right, we're moving on. Max, what are you saying?
Yo, what's up, man?
A lot.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about, bro?
First off, been watching the channel for ages. Love what you're doing.
Appreciate that.
Brings the community together and whatnot. And big question: now that we got a new manager in, the players are going to want to, bring in more of a passion to prove to the manager that they're worth their time there.
Mm-hmm.
So, in January, in the current form that we're in, if you could choose to remove 3 players, to sell them, and bring in 3 new players, who do you reckon that would be?
If I could get rid of 3 players,
yeah,
and
without
bring
any
3
bias,
players
in the current form that we're in, what would you do?
I would sell Ziyech, and I would wait. Is it realistic signings or just anybody you could bring?
If the form that we're in, and we know, Todd, he wants to bring in the big bucks to make the club one of the biggest in the world. We know he's ready to do that. So, depend, realistically now, what does become an unrealistic signing?
I get you. They pushed the barrier on a lot of people. I'd say Ziyech I'd take out, and then maybe you put in the likes of Leao or somebody creative. In midfield, I think we need an 8 because we now have a DM kind of sorted with Zakaria if he works out.
Yes, definitely.
So I'd want a box-to-box 8. So Milinkovic-Savic, I think, would be a brilliant option for us. Up top, I'd sell Havertz and I'd bring in Ivan Toney.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that would be my 3. That would be my 3.
When you say
take out Havertz, take out Ziyech. In midfield, though, I would rather we keep Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic, and we just add better options so we don't have to rely on them as much. Because then I think our depth improves overall.
Yeah, definitely. You get a lot of people coming in hating on Jorginho. If you look at his performance in the Euros, once he has a good enough build around him, he can really dictate the play in midfield and move players around to strengthen the midfield. Right now, with the depth that we have in midfield, it's either an extremely defensive midfield or an extremely high pressing attacking midfield. We don't have that. We don't have that middle ground, which Jorginho, represents himself best in. So, when people say get rid of Jorginho because he's in bad form, he doesn't have enough support and backing in the midfield to actually do what he does best. No,
I completely agree. I think Jorginho has been poor this season. We can't even try and sugarcoat it. But if you have better players around him, you get the best out of him and you hide his deficiencies. And we don't really have that right now. Jorginho is being played with Loftus-Cheek, who respectfully is only a ball progressor and nothing really too much more than that. Conor Gallagher, who's just been extremely misprofiled. And he looked good when Kante was next to him, but then Kante got injured. And we need another Kante-type player or someone who's stylistically similar to him if we want to still be able to get those good performances out of him.
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's also cool to see, with the interest on deadline day with Leao and whatnot, seeing someone young like that to come in that has good potential, has shown himself, proven himself, to have that creativity, and can link up with, your Reece James, your Chilwells, your Kukureyas, and your Sterlings and whatnot. I feel like bringing in someone young, fast, positive mindset, especially in with a new manager and with that, that high pressing, crossing abilities, I feel like Leao would, thrive with Chelsea.
I think Leao would look good with us. My only worry is I feel like Milan is more of a team that likes to play off the transition, and I don't know how he's going to deal with less space to operate around. But I do believe he's capable of it. I just don't want to judge him based off that because I do believe they play a completely different type of way to us.
Yeah, no, most definitely. When it comes to Jorginho, this is going to be the last season I give him any kind of leeway, because I feel like in January, I feel like we're mainly going to try and improve the midfield, because time and time again, we've blamed Timo up front, we blamed Lukaku up front, we've blamed these out of touch defenders, and we've all knew, for so long the midfield is where we need to improve. So with strengthening the midfield this season, which is what I believe, we're going to try and do. If we don't see an improvement with Jorginho, I feel like at that point, he's kind of a lost cause.
I kind of agree as well, because if we continue to see a decline from him, we are going to have to look at other options and better options. I do think we need to be in that position where we need to do it anyway, because I like him. I do believe he gets a lot of unnecessary stick, but it's getting to a point now where even his best traits are starting to disappear, and it's I need to see a lot more from him personally, because he hasn't been good enough. And I'm saying that as someone who's a huge fan of the player.
Yeah, it's like watching him against West Ham. I believe it was him who fumbled the ball, which led on to the goal, which was disallowed by VAR. If I remember correctly, he fumbled the ball and then they went straight onto the counter attack with it, which is what he did again. I can't exactly remember what game it was. I believe it was in the Champions League last season, where he had to take a touch and he's tried to play it off cool and he's fumbled it again. Like when it comes to high pressing with Jorginho, I don't feel like he can handle that intense pressure to make a decision, look up and get rid of the ball. I feel like he kind of almost trips over his own feet.
Yeah, I feel like he looks a lot less confident on the ball now as well. He's taking way too many touches. He's not keeping his head up. And this is, again, one of his biggest traits, that he's dropping off. And it's already hard enough to defend his deficiencies. If the good aspects of his game aren't working, then it's not good enough. Literally just not good enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, no worries, bro. It's been good talking anyway. It really has. And bro, hopefully we'll be doing this again in the future as well. So try and hop in.
Hopefully.
Take care of yourself, bro. Big up.
Love, man. Love.
Bless, bro. Bless. All right, again, we're gonna keep on rolling. John, what are you saying, bro?
Yo, it's good.
Not much. All good. Again, just chilling, enjoying feels like an international break, but it's the international break before the international break. But what are you saying anyway? What did you want to discuss?
Just feel like the fan base is too harsh on Jorginho and most of the team.
I agree with that.
I think
the team in general, I'd understand being annoyed at the squad because the squad's been poor all season.
Yeah.
I just think you can't scapegoat one person specifically for all of it. It is an entire team problem.
Yeah, I think Jorginho is being misused. Tuchel's used him next to Loftus-Cheek and Gallagher, expecting him to do all the defensive work. He needs someone to cover for him. That's why when he plays next to Kante and Kovacic, that's where you get the best out of him. I also think
I agree he's had the best when you got two players surrounding him. I massively agree with that personally, but a lot of people don't discuss it.
Yeah. I also think, I think we should have sold Gallagher during the summer. I just feel like even with Potter coming in, he doesn't fit a back three. You have to use him as a box-to-box. And the way Tuchel was using him in the pivot, it just doesn't work.
Again, completely agree that there's been major amount of misprofile on the squad. And it's going to be on, Graham Potter's responsibility to get the best out of them all now and try and find a way to get some confidence back into the squad. Quick question. Are you a Lukaku fan? Because I'm having a look at your Avi and a lot of people are noticing in the comment section as well. What's your thoughts on Lukaku, bro?
No, it's just a joke. I don't like Lukaku at all. I think he's a disgrace.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. At least you're with all of us on that regard. I did hear a few people talking, though, that potentially Potter might want to bring him back next season. There could be a chance of him coming back. I do think it's very unlikely, but what would your thoughts be if he did end up making a return?
I think the issue with Lukaku is that he fits the system, in my opinion. I just feel like he doesn't want to be at Chelsea, and he wasn't working hard under Tuchel. He didn't want to be there. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he works with the players we have around him. Like, he fits our system. But if you have a player who just doesn't want to be there, it's never going to work out. So I think we should sell him to Inter, get a good amount of money, and take the loss.
Big facts. I agree with that as well. Was that what else did you want to talk about, bro? I didn't let you go off.
I think I'm excited under Potter to see how he does, with the youth players like Chukwuemeka. I want to see how he uses Broja and, the other players like Chaloba as well. I'd like to see how he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aubameyang was a bad signing because to sign him, and then just to sack Tuchel a few days afterwards makes no sense. I would have signed Ivan Toney from Brentford.
I will say that I don't think Aubameyang's a bad signing. I think a lot of people say he's washed when I don't think he's there yet.
No, I don't think he's washed. The issue is just it doesn't make sense to sign him. I would have signed Toney from Brentford or just a younger striker because I'm not sure how Potter will use him. I think Potter may favor Broja instead of him. If Broja's playing over him, then there wasn't much sense in signing Aubameyang. I think we needed a striker, but I've said it since the beginning of the summer. I would have just gone for Ivan Toney. I think he's perfect for our system.
We never even looked at him until the last few days, which I thought was just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not sure why, because I rate him very highly.
Maybe we go for him next year. Hopefully Potter puts an eye out for him or something. I don't know. But bro, it's been good talking anyway, man. Big up yourself.
All right, thanks. I'm a big fan of the channel.
I appreciate that, bro. If we do this more as well, hop in again, man. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Man. Bless. Right. Who is next? Pav, what were you saying, bro? You all good?
Oh yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on the channel.
No worries, bro.
Thank you. I just mainly wanted to talk about the Graham Potter appointment. Not even the Graham Potter appointment, but kind of the contrast between the Tuchel sacking and us bringing Graham Potter. Obviously, a lot of fans that I've seen, excuse me, of course, a lot of fans that I've seen have been saying this is very reactionary. This is due to the bad results. This is due to issues in the backroom staff. But with Todd Boehly, not just Todd Boehly, he also has the other owner of the Dodgers as well on his consortium. They very much like to have a one vision, one goal kind of system. And that's been proven with the Dodgers. They had their sporting director back in 2014. They got their most recent head coach in 2016. They just signed a deal with him for 2022. So I was saying this as well to my friends, and we had the idea of maybe the signing was either too late or too soon. And maybe it actually would have been better if we sacked him earlier. And I'm a big Tuchel fan. When Tuchel first got appointed, I said, this guy's the guy. He's a top 3 manager in the world. He's going to do great things for us. But just considering the structure that they wanted to build, maybe it would have been better. Now, I assume that more information will come out in regards to whose signings they actually were for Todd Boehly, or maybe it was for Tuchel, because all the reports in the summer, if you remember, were Tuchel's picking these players. He's handpicking them. Now the reports are starting to change with them saying, oh, it was the consortium that wanted to get these players in. It's just, I feel like time will tell with a situation like this. And I feel like this, everybody give Lewis 30 likes, please. I feel like...
Run it up, guys, please.
Yeah, there we go. But only time will tell. I feel like the formation itself will translate rather smoothly. I feel like somebody like Marc Cucurella being in our squad will really help Graham Potter in terms of bringing along his philosophy and being somebody who buys in. Somebody like Thiago Silva as well, who's the ultimate professional, will buy into the manager and will ultimately do his best to bring the most out of what Graham Potter wants to achieve. But it's a little bit weird because there's so much backdoor stuff just because of how late the sale was that I really want to see what happens. I just want to see how it all kind of comes together. So I feel like a lot of the people that are trying to come to conclusions really quickly are hasty in their judgment. I feel Tuchel should have stayed or at least bring in Poch. I would not bring in Poch. Lewis, I think you agree with that.
Oh, God forbid we bring in Poch. That would be more toxic than Benitez. No chance.
You see what Galtier is doing with PSG as well.
What's he doing?
He's winning games, and he's winning games by a lot of goals. So, yeah.
Actually, every time I'm checking PSG highlights, they're thrashing people, so fair enough.
Yeah, no, they're building a really good system, and Luis Campos has been an advisor for PSG. I think he had a part in bringing in Vitinha, who's been doing really well for them. But again, apparently he's just an advisor. Todd Bowley has already spoken with him. There have both been reports that whoever Chelsea are speaking to bring in as a director of football have also talked about Graham Potter. So in hindsight, it makes a little bit more sense why he was sacked and why we brought in Graham Potter. It doesn't make sense why he was sacked when he was sacked. That's the part that gets me.
Exactly. It's either towards the end of last season when the whole takeover gets completed, or it's at the end of this season if he fails. I don't get 7 games into a new season. It makes no sense at all to me.
If he was sacked during preseason, would have made a lot more sense, in my opinion. But
definitely, 100% agree.
Yeah, but somebody said if we hadn't gone for Potter, who would we have gone for? I don't think we would have gone for anybody.
It would have been Potter or Pochettino. Those are the two initially earmarked.
And I would have taken a swan dive off a bridge if it was Pochettino. His
Exactly.
stocks are in the mud.
Just keep Tuchel if that's the case. Anything else you wanted to talk about, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry. The fact that Potter brought in his assistant data analyst as well, that's very interesting to see who we could potentially bring in. I want us to make smarter signings. Obviously, in Roman's last years, we seemed to just bring in whoever was the next hot topic. Right now, there seems to be 2 that are talked about in the Chelsea fan base, Kvaratskhelia and Tony. Give them till the end of the season. Maybe give them, especially for Kvaratskhelia, give him a season after. He's a very risk-reward, feast or famine type of player. So I definitely want to give him a little bit more time. But for somebody like Ivan Toney, if he's available next summer, I would definitely take a look at him. But yeah, that's it. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate you, Lewis.
No worries, bro.
Work.
Take care of yourself. Big up.
Yeah.
Big up. Right, again, we're going to keep on rolling. Ice-T, what are you saying, bro?
Doing good, I'm doing good. First of all, trying to know your thoughts on Aubameyang. What do you think he's going to flop or what do you think he won't?
No, I don't think he's going to flop for us. I think he'll score way more goals than people expect. Everyone thinks he's washed, even though he went to Barca and got them from 9th to 2nd in half a year. I think he'll be really good for us.
But at the same time, when he was at Barca, there was different wingers with him. But at Chelsea, you kind of have many options to experiment with rather. So I think it's going to be a different environment for him. I think he's going to have to adapt to the way our wingers play as well, because they play very different from how Barcelona's wingers play. So that and that's pretty much it, to be fair. Also, I want to get your questions on Liverpool and the Napoli loss.
Liverpool got battered. Absolutely battered. And they haven't been in any sort of decent form all season, but I'm not surprised. City were winning the league regardless of how Liverpool played. It's just now the league's a bit more boring because it's just Arsenal pretending that they're in a title race.
That's funny. Anyway, good talking. Good questions.
Hey, no worries, bro. Pick up yourself. It's been good talking. Take care of yourself. Bless, man. Right. That was surprisingly quick. Carlito, what were you saying, bro? Hope everything's good.
Lewis, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you all good.
Buddy, you're the hardest working man in show business. Look at you.
Let's
You're
go, man.
streaming.
No football this weekend, and we're still here doing double stream.
Dog, you're a streaming demon. I'll tell you what. All right.
Unbelievable name. Bro.
That is a really good one, right? Got a couple things for you. Number one, do we have a goalkeeper controversy? Do we have a problem?
Yeah, a little bit of a problem because I don't trust either of them.
It's an issue. I didn't think for the next 5 years that we would have to think about this shit, but we do because Mendy. There's something going on there, man. Now I don't think it's that he's been exposed. I just think that I think he's always had this in his game. I think that there's just deficiencies in there with his feet that have always fucked with him.
I think he looked good when Tuchel first joined for a little bit. Other than that, though, is like playing out the back has always been a massive issue. Always.
Yeah. Nah, and Kepa, Kepa's much better playing out of the back, but it is man. I mean, I know Jared Jesters was talking about it the other day, but he suggested that there was a keeper controversy, and I started thinking about it, and then I started watching him a little bit more, and I think that there's an issue there. I think it's well timed that Gaga Slonina is going to be joining the team in January. That probably means Kepa's leaving, but I think Potter. I almost said Tuchel. I think Potter. I think that we're going to give him a hard look. I really do. My next question. Did you see Johnny Minerals all-time 11?
Oh, I love Johnny. I got mad love for him, but fuck me, what is that 11? I've seen it though because he said that on one of my shows before. The entire 11.
Yeah,
player to player.
Is he fucking with everybody or is he serious?
No, he means that. He means that. He means Mount in the starting 11. He means
that is exasperating, buddy. All right, and then last thing, and I'll keep it simple. Who we getting in January?
Alvarez.
I think that's for sure.
That's it, really. I don't expect a lot from the January window. I never do.
You shouldn't. Those are hard deals to do, man. You're interrupting the season.
Yeah, because who's getting rid of a big player in January or like anyone decent?
I mean, any self-respecting club is not giving up on the season in January, you know? So if you're selling a player, you're giving up on the season.
I just don't see how it would work. Oh, yeah, Zakaria potentially. That's a good shout. That's a very good shout.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I'll let you go on this Sunday.
No worries, bro. I'll see you on the streams a bit more as well. Start sending you the link.
Absolutely. See you, man.
Take care, my guy. Big up. Right, we're going to get AK in as well next. What are you saying?
Hey, Lewis, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you all good. What are you saying?
I just want to go back to Lukaku and Aubameyang, man. I don't know. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think we might do better with Lukaku, especially with Potter coming in.
I hear what you're trying to say, but I do think Aubameyang's better with link-up play and pressing. Like with Lukaku as well, the guy has also deteriorated any respect from the Chelsea fan base. So I don't even think I could push that.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying, but like if you give him like that ego boost, first of all, that's what I don't get about the whole sacking situation. I'm sure you heard what Matt Lowe said, right? How it all happened. They didn't believe in him starting from the summer and all that.
Yeah.
So if you are thinking about firing the guy, why not fire him in the summer and keep Lukaku and Werner? Because with a new manager, I mean, we know the skill is there, right? You know.
I'd hope so. I would hope so, but we have to see when the new manager joins because I don't know what to make of it. I really don't.
Yeah. Anyways, like I was just looking at old videos. Like, you remember Chelsea versus Arsenal when he scored those? Like, you know, we thrashed Arsenal. You know, at the start of the season
because there's plenty of them.
Last season. Yeah, I know. Last season, I think Lukaku's second game or something like that.
Yeah, no, he played brilliantly, but it was also against Pablo Mari, and I haven't seen that guy play a game for Arsenal since. Lukaku just ended his career.
Yeah, I hope Aubameyang works for us, but man, Potter will really have to think about using that loan deal to bring Lukaku back. But that was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
No worries, bro. Big up yourself. Again, it has been really
Yeah.
good talking. Take care of yourself, my guy. Right. Well, it's been a really good call-in show. Well, we used to do this a lot in lockdown, but we don't do it as much anymore. But we will probably start reloading these again. Big up everyone that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button to Chelsea Fan TV. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow with some more content. As always, up the Chelsea.